Welcome to another episode of the Automotive Architect Sales Podcast. I told you I would be back. Finished my book just last week, Finding the Real You. So I got that out of the way. I am excited to be back, ladies and gentlemen. Excited to be back and be able to give you guys the content that you deserve. I love the way this all worked out. I love how things just go as planned. And one of the biggest things right now is making sure that I take care of the people that I care about. And one of the things that has been bothering me lately is it's been people, are they in it for the money? Or are they in it for um, they truly love who they're dealing with? That's the question. Because everybody that I seem to talk to lately is putting a price tag on the conversation. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, I thought we were all in this together. I thought we were friends. But then you tag on, if you want to talk any further, I charge X amount of dollars an hour. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And excuse my language, but god damn. To me, I want to be able to help people. Yes, money's important. Money's important in a certain way. But if it's one trainer talking to another trainer or one person as a friend talking to a friend, they shouldn't throw a dollar figure out. That's just me. If someone asked for my expertise, if someone asked me, hey, Ron, how do you talk to your people about overcoming objections? I'm not going to say, well, go ahead and go to my website at garvautomotive.com. Click on the. No, I'm not going to do that because that's one trainer to another. I'm going to tell them, okay, this is what you do. This is how you talk. This is what you say to your people. And if you're not getting through to your people, and this is one trainer to another. Now, if this is a dealer asking me, yes, I'm going to say, hey, go to my website, or hey, let's book a time for me to come to your dealership so I can train your people. But this is one individual to another on the same platform, and they're trying to make a dollar off you. And I was like, wow, okay, in conversation, we know where you're going. You're not doing it for the greater good. You're doing it to try to make an extra dollar. Well, the guest that I have coming on today, and it's no surprise, he was my number one guest on the Automotive Architect Sales Podcast when I first started doing interviews. His name is in the title. It's Roy Davila, the Wolf. Ow! And man, this guy is going to change the world. This guy is going to change your mindset, your thinking of life. And I am happy to have him on today. He is a good friend. He's a fellow Texan, even though I'm not originally from Texas, but I pretty much adopted the state now because anything's better than Kansas. But I am happy to have him on. I'm happy to be able to pick his brain, see what he's doing, because a lot of things have changed since the last time we talked to him. And so I just want to pick his brain, see what is going on in his world, see what kind of changes is going on, and just touch base and pretty much have a conversation. One of the things I like to do and that I'm going to start doing with the Automotive Architect Sales Podcast is give you a quote. And one of my favorite motivational speakers right now is Les Brown. Les Brown, I got hooked on him when I just wanted to start getting my mind right, motivating myself. And man, whatever you're feeling that morning when you wake up and you start listening to Les Brown, he gives you all the answers. And it's just so crazy how whatever you're going through, you just listen to a Les Brown motivational speaking clip and bam, you're like motivated that day. And one of the quotes that I love to hear him say, and it's short and simple: you gotta be hungry. You gotta be hungry. I love that quote. So remember, you gotta be hungry. The Automotive Architect Sales Podcast is sponsored by Dealer Elite. DealerElite.net, the most recognized automotive social network in the world. Sign up now, engage with the biggest and brightest in your industry, and Street Volkswagen of Amarillo. We have all new vehicles coming in. You go to some dealerships and they don't have squat. There is not one vehicle that don't come on our lot. And most of the time they're already sold. But we also got used and CPO vehicles. So check out www.streetvw today.
Discover your daily deal at the dating site for automobiles, StreetVW.com. Here's General Manager John Luciano.
You can save thousands on this showstopper, the revved-up Volkswagen Atlas Crossport, or get ultra-low monthly payments on all new and used vehicles, like on the Volkswagen Atlas. And remember, many Volkswagen vehicles are famous for outstanding fuel economy.
And meet the Volkswagen ID4. This affordable electric SUV is going to change everything. Hurry and discover your daily deal now at StreetVW.com. Street Volkswagen of Amarillo, 5000 South Sonsi.
You're listening to the #1 automotive sales podcast, the Automotive Architect Sales Podcast with Ron Garvey. I walked into his office to quit car sales, and I walked out with a plan that made me a master salesman and a much better provider.
The #1 automotive sales podcast, broadcasting around the world. 100% positive mindset on making over $100K a year. You want to make more money and close more car deals while keeping a positive mindset. This is the show for you. Broadcasting around the world. This is the Automotive Architect Sales Podcast with Ron Garverick.
Thank you for joining me today, ladies and gentlemen. I told you, I'm back. Back to the grind with the Automotive Sales Podcast. And my guest we have today is the one and only Roy Davila. He is changing the world and changing mindsets all together. Ladies and gentlemen, I am happy to announce Mr. Roy Davila, the wolf himself.
I love it, brother. I love it.
How are you doing, my friend?
Doing good, brother. Doing good. A lot better now that we're connected, man. It's been a while since we've jumped on here. I always enjoy our conversations.
Man, it's been a long time, but I think it's for the greater good. I think it's things have changed in both of our lives, and you moved on to other bigger places and better opportunities. And I just got the book out, Finding the Real You, moving on to still being at the dealership, still helping my people, but also helping others out there in the automotive industry and other business avenues. And so, you'll see a little bit of Ron Garverick as the transformational architect. That's because what I'm trying to accomplish is transform people's lives into being better. And what have you been doing?
Man, first of all, congratulations on the book. I can't wait for it to come out, man. It's an inspiration. I saw what you were doing with it, and it really tugged on me to chase my calling. But man, I've actually hooked up with the Henson brand dealerships out here in Madisonville, Texas. They're part of the Foundation Auto Group, and we are retooling the digital. Actually, we're building from scratch their digital retail department, if you will. We are going to really dive into this digital landscape and compete with the likes of the Carvanas. And take back our clientele and show that, hey, even at a traditional dealership, a brick and mortar store, we can compete and meet our customers where they want to be met. I think in these past few years, we've learned not everybody wants to come into the store and deal with the usual, road to the sell and the usual process. There's plenty of customers that want to meet us where they want to do business, whether that be on their couch, at work, from their laptop, from their cell phones. And we need to embrace that, and we need to meet them in that arena and get them as far as they want to. Now, we also know not everybody's going to want to go 100% remote. So if they want to take the process as far as maybe an appraisal, we need to know how to transition from where they're at in the digital space and then transition back into our brick and mortar. And I think that's what excited me about doing this. I had some opportunities come about. I had some people recruiting me and an offer to go GM a few stores and platform direct for another group. But when I met with Eric and the team here at Henson, it really, man, if you know me, we've been talking about this for a long time. Digital retail is something that's been near and dear to me because I take it personal. Those are our customers that are doing business with companies that don't have the attention to detail. They don't care about their people. They're not growing and producing future leaders like we try to do. So my intent is to help us build this platform and show everybody else, hey, it can be done. And not to mention the social impact that this group has had is second to none. I mean, if I told you how many leads these guys are generating from organic social campaigns, you'd think it's crazy. I've seen dealers spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to try to generate the amount of leads that these guys are doing. So it tugged at me, it spoke to me, and I said, you know what? I really need to look for purpose right now, and this is purpose. I'm excited to help these guys build this department.
And the good thing about it is, you have to start thinking outside the box. And when it comes to people wanting to buy cars, they want to make it where it's convenient for them. And it's funny now, after COVID-19, a lot of people are trying to jump on board when we should have been doing it before COVID-19. We should have been doing, and for myself, when I was selling trucks at a Ford dealership, I would get a yes before the customer even came in the dealership. So they walked in, went right straight to the finance department, signed their paperwork, got in their truck, and drove off. It was like less than 5 minutes. I had gap sold, warranty sold, parents package sold. I had everything sold before the customer even came in, because time is money. Customers are so busy, they don't have time to waste 4 or 5 hours, but yet they do when they come in. And like Tim Kent said, the first 15 minutes of the negotiation determines your last 15 minutes of the negotiation. So if I get all that out of the way via text message, via video, via email, then my job is complete, right?
Yeah, and the important thing is you hear it more and more these days. Now that inventory is the way it is, there's markup, there's addendums, there's all these ways that we're making gross profit. We're not advertising the lowest price anymore. You don't see any dealerships really advertising $10,000 off, $6,000 off. What are we advertising? A better experience. What I've been trying to challenge dealers with is, you advertise a better experience. Is it happening when your customer shows up? Are you being truthful to the advertising that you're throwing out there, right? Or is it just another gimmick to get people in the store? And when they get here, we're treating them, or when they're inquiring, if they're hitting us up online, if they're submitting leads, are we treating them the same way we used to? You've got somebody that's filled out a credit application, has asked for an appraisal value, and we're still telling them, hey, just show up, just come to the store, we'll get you top dollar. When these people are giving you all this information and they're begging to do business in this avenue, and we're still trying to drag them into the store. Now, don't get me wrong. If we can set an appointment and get people in here, by all means, I think there's some things we can explain to them in person. But if that customer wants to go through a different medium, we need to meet them there and give them the opportunity to do so. It's our when we were just no. That's what gave birth to Carvana and these other companies. Customers were begging, and I think that tells you, look, meet us where we want to do business, give us that opportunity, make it convenient. And what we're finding is, when you do offer that kind of convenience, trade values, you're not negotiating so hard. Price points, you're not negotiating so hard. You're giving customers convenience. And if Amazon Prime and these other subscription companies have taught you anything, is I'll pay a little bit more for convenience.
Oh yeah, and I mean, that's we were talking about Amazon. The majority of the time, if I want to buy something, I buy it off Amazon. I don't go to the local Walmart because I don't want to deal with everything that's going on there, the crowds, the kids screaming, the old people that are in my way. I'll just buy it, wait a couple of days. The time of getting it here is not that far away. I mean, I ordered a book, Adam Marburger's book, yesterday. I'll get it in 2 days, and it's like, I'll wait 2 days instead of trying to get involved in all this chaos. I'll wait. I'll just order it online, wait for it to come in. That's what customers want to do now with buying cars. And now you got lenders that are saying, hey, you can e-contract, email the customer, The customer can e-contract, sign from their home, from their phone, from their laptop, and they never have to walk into the dealership. All the salesman's got to do is deliver them the car. On their trade appraisals, man, if they take good enough pictures, and so you can do a swag, you're set. I'd
I'll give you
rather
one. I'll give you one further, Ron. What about a video appraisal? What about a live video appraisal? Let's
oh
grab your iPhone. Let's do a FaceTime. Schedule it, and let's walk through your video. I was with Colby Joyner not too long ago, and he was moving, right, and he was going through these moving companies, and the one that he did business with is one that responded to him the quickest. They gave him convenience, and instead of sending an appraiser out there to go look at the facility at his home, they did a video conference. They FaceTimed with him. He showed them every room, and they gave him a quote based on what they saw. It wasn't an estimation. It was an accurate quote because they actually used the technology that they had in front of them to give him an accurate quote, and they were good on their number. And that made me think, a moving company's doing that. Why aren't we utilizing these tools?
because we're not thinking outside the box. We still, and sorry, but we still got old dogs that are managing the dealership, and they're not trying. It's the philosophy: out of sight, out of mind. If they're not here at the dealership, they're pushed to the back till they show up to the dealership. Sell the appointment. They tell the BDC, sell the appointment, sell the appointment. Well, customers don't have time. Well, then we'll put them in the back till they do have time. And that's what's hurting us, and we're not selling enough cars, is because we're not thinking outside the box. We're not helping the customer what's more convenient for them. And I think that's wonderful that moving companies are doing that in regards of they made time so much easier. They took the pressure away from Colby, and they said, "Hey, this is what we can do. This is how much it's going to be. Thank you very much." And he's like, "Man, that's convenient. Let's go with that. That's perfect. That's what we need to start doing." But what you and I want to do is change the mindset of the managers
Amen.
because you got the sales people going, okay, this guy's ready to go, but he doesn't have any time to come into the dealership. Well, if he ain't here, then we're not going to work the deal. Live customers.
Yeah, that's no good. You're costing yourself business. And in a time right now where inventory's at its lowest, used car values are at their highest. I mean, this is where really we need to be taking advantage of every opportunity there is. It doesn't matter if they're in front of you or they're not. It doesn't matter if they're all the way engaged or not. What's wrong with giving people information? Knowledge is power, right? The more information I give you, the more I have the right to ask you for your business or ask you for, the next step to the sale. Everything is earned. And I believe they're all opportunities we have right now. So we can't be afraid to do that appraisal by video or over the phone. We can't be afraid to give them the information they're asking for. And in return, let's ask them to do business.
And that's another thing. We don't ask for the business. We don't ask the customer. We give them all the information. We've talked about this before. There's three types of salespeople: order takers, presenters, and closers. And order takers will do everything in their power to sell a car and make no money. Presenters will show you everything, all the numbers, all the car, what you're getting for your trade, where they can go somewhere else and use that against us at another dealership. And then there's closers. Closers ask for the sale. What will it take for you to buy this car today? And that once we get everybody to learn those words, what will it take for you to buy a car right now, today?
You know what protects you from the first two, and not protects you, but because let's be honest, you need people right now. Dealerships need good people.
Right.
And not everybody's going to be that aggressive closer. Not everybody's going to be that person that just has that skill to go out there and close a car deal or knows exactly what to say. But you need all three of those people in your dealership. But what protects you and what helps you is your management, the involvement from your management, the engagement from your management, not just taking a turn when you've got a difficult customer out there, but calling that lead, calling that appointment, calling that customer that is trying to work things over the phone, and you helping guide your people through that. That's the best time they're going to learn those tactics from you. They can watch it on a video all day long, But when they see it done in person, when they see it done over the phone, when they see you take the lead and actually start to mentor and lead and manage these people, not only will they buy into you, but they're going to buy into the process. There's when those word tracks go off and they can't wait to do it themselves. And guess what? When they do it, they're going to come to you and say, hey, Ron, guess what? I did what you did the other day and it worked.
Yeah, if they see you do it, then they know that you're not just feeding them full of shit. And the good part about it is I like to train my people to learn how to close their own deals because uh, I've still got the mindset that not all managers, and I hate to use the word managers because
Leaders.
manager sounds like a negative word. There's some managers out there that when they do take a TO, they drop their pants and give away everything. So all that work you did to try to make a little bit of a commission so you don't get a mini just went out the door. So if you teach the salespeople how to close their own deals, and you still had to go get that TO, and then when I come out and say the exact same thing that you just got done saying, there's more credibility. There's more
Yeah.
truth to it
Well,
because they're looking at you
and
going, okay,
those managers that are quote unquote dropping to the bottom or discounting a bunch, that's a culture thing as well. And that's where what we've been talking about, what I'm hoping to do with the future. I've been working with Sean on getting
right,
this sales management training platform out there. It's not just how to be an effective sales manager and an effective leader, but knowing how to read your people, knowing when to get involved so you don't have to discount. I was one of the most active managers at every store that I've been at when I was behind a desk. I took more turns than anybody else, but my per copy was higher than everybody else's.
right.
And I knew when to get involved. I knew when my salesperson had pretty good control, and I knew when it would be, like you said, beneficial for me to go in there and just reinforce what they're already saying. Now, we trained every day on process. We trained every day closing. I mean, we had our structured training schedules, but at the same time, I knew the power of the turn still could help out. And for me to maximize their potential, maximize the gross profit for the deal, and maximize how much money my dealership could make, I needed to know when I needed to get involved. And I knew what people I could guide and mentor and who were picking it up quicker than others, so that when I was busy, I knew who I could rely on. I could tell so-and-so, hey, Ron, go ahead, come here. Jerry's got that deal out there. I want you to go roam around him a little bit. If you hear him drowning a little or needing help, just go in there and help him close that
Oh,
deal.
yeah. And I do that too. I'll get a guy going, hey, man, I need a TO. Well, what's
And the
going on?
important thing is your executive managers, your GSMs, your sales directors and stuff like that. That was the funnest part for me as a GSM, was guiding my managers and teaching them, hey, you need to get involved, right? He's not getting the bump out of it. If you go any further, you're going to start cutting the deal. Go jump in there and go help him close that car deal. Go figure out what the real objection is, because those are just smoke screens that he's getting right now, and he doesn't know how to close them. He doesn't know how to overcome them. You send
Right.
him out there on the same numbers 4 times. That doesn't make sense.
No.
Get involved. Go help them close the car deal. Same thing with appointment. I used to get managers that would say, "Man, so and so's making smoke appointments. They keep making fake appointments." Well, help him. As soon as he sets that appointment, go behind him and call that customer and firm it up for him, and then
Yeah.
coach him on what he did wrong or where he could be better. But instead, you have managers that like to sit behind a desk and just look at the numbers and say, "Hey, so and so's not performing. They're not going to make it." Well, if you hired them, you married them, and if you married them, it's up to you to help them get there. We've got to invest that time into them.
And it's all being a team. And the bad thing about it is going on with starting at the top. For so long, we've been training the salespeople and not the leaders. So what I don't,
Amen.
the things that you teach the salespeople, hey, we need to do this. This is the standard operational procedures, the SOPs. These are the ways how you talk to your customers. This is how you ask for the business. Then this is how you hold on the trade. They'll go to to the sales managers, and whatever the trainer is teaching inside the classroom is not being implemented when you go to the desk, and then you hear the excuse from the desk, well, I don't know what's being trained.
Yeah, they're not
We've
involved in the.
invited you to come to the class, to attend, not to speak, but to listen, so you know what the trainer's been training. how many of these dealers spend money on trainers to come into their store to weeks or a month later going, so how's everything? How's the culture in the store now? Yeah, well, nothing worked. What do you mean nothing worked? Yeah, we're not doing anything that you set in stone when you came in and trained. Now, the trainer can think two things. He can think, I can come back in your store, I'll charge you another $5,000 and we'll do it all over again. Or he could be really concerned and say, I don't think you have a training problem. I think you have an internal leadership problem. Let's get the managers trained up. We'll have a 2-day event. We'll have half go on Monday. We'll have the other half come on Tuesday. So we have coverage at the desk, and let me train them instead of training your salespeople. And I'll cut it $2,500 and we'll get them all squared
with
away.
with my mastermind group, when I first started it, and I haven't taken on a ton of clients, but with who I have helped with it, it was very important to me that we isolated the needs of the dealer, whether it was salespeople or management. And I'm very upfront with the clients that I had brought on. I am a leadership and management. That's my area of expertise and where I like to train at. But if you need help with sales professionals, I can do that as well, and we can dive into those areas. And if we trained with the sales staff, I made it very clear what I train with your sales staff, I am going to reiterate with your management, because it's your management that I'm going to hold accountable to the expectations, not your salespeople. I'm not going to come behind you and ask your salespeople if they've been producing it. I'm going to communicate with your managers on a daily basis and make sure that they're reinforcing what we talked about, what we trained about. And I think that's what's missing. You're absolutely right. A bunch of trainers will go out there and train the heck out of some salespeople, but the managers are sitting at the tower waiting, or they're not participating in the training. And then you can teach a bunch of gold to these guys, but if your leaders aren't reinforcing it, like you said, it's just a waste.
And that's what we need to stop today and master, is taking care of these people and making sure that managers understand this is all about them. This is about what makes them better. Because if you are better and you can make your salespeople better, then everybody profits. Last question: what should we expect from you in months to come? What is your game plan?
Man, my game plan is we're diving into this department here with Henson. I want to make it something that's going to be emulated, and people are going to try to copy afterwards, because their social reach is just amazing. And I think there's so many opportunities that we can take advantage of it. And I want to create processes that are going to meet our customers where they want to do business. That's business wise. Two, the mastermind deal is growing and it's blowing up, and I enjoy it. And I'm not taking on a bunch of people because I want the quality to be there. So keep a lookout for that. I'll be posting some of the success stories that we've had so far. But the biggest thing, man, is, and you've inspired me, I got to give you full credit for this. You put me in touch with Daniel, and man, we're going to be working on a book here pretty soon that's going to be focused on leadership. And in particular, the first thing I want to do is a leadership book geared on how to lead millennials. And that's one of the biggest issues you hear in a dealership, right? You can't manage these millennials. They're not motivated by money. I can't figure out how to lead these people. And I'm right on the cusp of it. I'll be 33 years old this year. I've been doing this since I was, 18, 19 years old. So I grew up in the car business. I cut my teeth in the car business. And man, I don't operate the same way most millennials do, but I understand how to speak their language and how to maximize the potential. And my biggest accomplishment that I think I've ever had, it's not a breaking a record, it's not doing this, it's not doing that. Everywhere that I went to and we exploded, I did it with the same staff that was already in place, right? And a majority of those staffs were the younger generations. And to me, that told me, okay, I can communicate with these guys. I'm talking to them differently than other managers or their previous management staffs have been. Now, let me see if I can put that into words and share that with everybody else.
Wow. That is inspiring. The thing is, I think once you get this book out, it will help millennials and leaders as itself to understand each other, understand where they're coming from on both ends. Talking about the book, you can go and pre-order my book, Finding the Real You. Go to garvautomotive.com, click on Finding the Real You book, scroll all the way down. You can pay by PayPal, debit or credit, and the release date will be on Cinco de Mayo. It's kind of funny. That was Daniel's idea. He was like, "Hey, let's have it on Cinco de Mayo," and I'm like, "People are going to think I'm racist or something." He was like, "No, it'll be very comical." So,
You're
yeah,
from Texas, brother. It's all good.
yeah. So Cinco de Mayo, May 5th. Get it on Amazon Kindle. You pre-order it now. Get an autograph book if you like. If not, just buy it on Amazon. But I mean, the good thing about it is you and I are trying to change the world, and we're not just doing it for the money. We're doing
No.
it because we want to see people grow. Where we were in our life before we got into the car business, we want other people to experience it the way it is now, but we want to help them go down the paved road instead of the dirt road that we went on. So you're a true pioneer. You know, even being at 33, you get it, you understand it, and you're trying to step forward and become a leader. So I really appreciate you.
The biggest thing, Ron, and please, if anybody takes anything away, yes, the way to stay the way that we are is by always growing. Never think that you've arrived. And man, as much as I think that I have to give, there's still so much more that I want to learn.
Oh yeah.
And that keeps us hungry. That keeps us growing. That keeps us moving. I was excited to come move. You know, I had some people tell me, why didn't you go GM? You know, why don't you take the platform director spot? Man, it's because I can grow and I can learn from this position that I'm in right now with this group. It feeds another side of me that's not just money. It's not just this is something that can make an impact, and man, I can get behind that very easily. And you know, we try to better ourselves on a daily basis. It's not something that we focus on a New Year's resolution and we 100%. Lose it after a couple of weeks. It's something that we do daily. So I appreciate the kind words, brother.
And in all reality, my heart, I believe that you went to the Henson Group because you want to see Fred and Lou all the time. You're like, that's where they're going all the time? Hey, yeah, I'll sign up with y'all.
I got to show up. No, honestly, it's going to be awesome to work with those guys. I love them to death. They're brothers. They're on the same wavelength we are, man. It's all about making a change and being a positive influence and sharing what we can. So shout out to Fred and Lou. Love those guys.
Keep growing.
Yep.
So how do we find you? Are you still doing Clubhouse on Wednesdays?
No, I'm actually going to jump back onto the Clubhouse Deals. It'll be Thursday nights. Okay. I got a new co-host that I'm probably going to jump out there with me. Man, we've been toying around with the idea of a podcast for a little bit, so that might be on the on the come as well. So, and if I do, I'll get you on there. You're gonna have to be one of my first guests, man. So
absolutely, I appreciate it. It'd be an honor. So, man, I know you're real busy. I know you got things to do. Last comments. Do you have any comments? Any words of wisdom that you can share with everybody today?
Man, the only way for us to stay full and pour into others is if we get poured into as well. So always look for ways to get better in this business. I mean, it's all over the place. All you got to do is go look for it. There's no excuses anymore. There's so many people out there that are willing to help. I remember I started my Mastermind Group for free, and it was just to help mentor and try to help where I could, and not for recognition, not for money. It was just so that I could stay sharp. And I felt like if I'm gifted with some things, it's my duty to give back. The good Lord calls upon us. They give you a gift. It's our job, I feel, to share it with the world. So, man, that's my biggest advice. Keep your cup full, always be learning, and just look around you. It helps out there.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can't get any better than this. You got the wolf and the architect on one show. Can't get any better than that. And I'm proud to have you on today. I know you're real busy. Appreciate it. Guys, check out Roy and everything he's doing. He is a game changer in this industry. He will change your life. True leader, true leadership. He's got a great mentor in Sean. Man, it's so good to have you on. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate you, brother. Thanks again.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Awesome.
Appreciate you, brother.
No, I appreciate you. Thank you very much.